What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and today we're gonna talk about something that I'm always talking about here at Ultrazillatoys, and that's diversifying your collection, and why I think that's super important as a collector and reviewer. So here to begin this conversation, we have the 4 reviews that I did this week. Only 4 this week, but that's okay. I also had an unboxing and stuff, and we have this video today. And who we have here, just to introduce them, just in case you didn't know and didn't see some of these, we have Transformers Legacy United Core Class, which is the smallest size scale of Transformers, and this is Beast Machine Cheetor. We also have DIVERSIFYING Mega Man, a review that just went up yesterday. We have the DIVERSIFYING Skull Devil. I know a lot of folks were into that one. And we have the Bandai Play Tekken 8 King, which I think is a really cool figure. Honestly, I think all these figures are really cool. And that's like the gist of this, right? I think figures are cool. I think a lot of figures are cool. I think a lot of different types of figures are cool. Different styles, different genres. And that's why I'm saying diversify your collection. It is an important thing to do, because when you do, and this is across the board, and this is why this is a Let's Talk collectors, a Let's Talk reviewers, when you do diversify your collection, your knowledge and your breadth of knowledge for figures just increases so much. Your knowledge and and ability to speak about figures gets upped so much. I think it's super important. I love Godzilla toys, sure. But as you see here, I love Transformers toys. I've always loved Mega Man toys, and you've seen me do plenty of fighting figures here on the channel before too. And both are video game figures, and that's another thing you've seen me do, video game figures. Lots of things, I've done so many different things on the channel, I just think it's so important, and it's something, from a very young age, I was into. And I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna venture a guess here, that most collectors, when they started, were very young and, got whatever their parents got them. And sometimes it wasn't what you wanted, but sometimes you really liked it. And there was a lot of diversity in your quote-unquote collection when you were a kid. I don't think it's like a collection when you're a kid. It's just your toys, right? And I would think that's helped shape you over the years. I can't imagine, how boring your life must be if all you ever got was Godzilla toys, or all you ever got was Transformers toys, or all you ever got was Star Wars toys, or G.I. Joes. And I'm dating myself here because I'm a kid that grew up when I was a child in the late 70s, early 80s, and yes, a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Transformers, a lot of G.I. Joes. I'm gonna say a lot of G.I. Joes, which isn't reflected here today on the channel. I've reviewed very few G.I. Joe items, and it surprises me, but I get it too. Tastes change and stuff, and tastes change in everyone. There is no doubt about it. And some folks, try to, as collectors, we try to narrow sometimes our vision, so I don't know, sometimes for money saving, sometimes so we have a collection that looks all good together, there's various reasons, or your interests just narrow a little bit, and I'd say I hope not, because there's just so much out there. I can't imagine, again, how boring my life would be if I only watched like Godzilla movies, or I only watched Transformers. That's to me, that's like no way to live. Variety is the spice of life, and it's really, really important for your mental health to get different things, to digest different things, and it's just good for you. You learn so much more. I'm all over the board. You guys know this, and even just in Godzilla toys, I'm good for movie monster series again, but I was even more majorly before this year. I'm good for some Funko Pops, and I'm good for everything in between. Obviously, I like the articulated figures. Those are amazing. Every once in a while, I'll get an X Plus figure. It's been quite a while now, especially since I haven't really gotten any DIFA reels, and those were the last bastion of X Plus figures that I was getting. But I get enough diversity just in the Godzilla line. But I love me Transformers. You guys know that. Not just to bring in someone with more substance that I will be reviewing this coming week. Starscream here is quite amazing, and as you guys might have seen if you watched my best of the year, my top 2 figures of last year were Transformers. I love me some robots, and it's not just Transformers, and you guys know that. I love me some super robots. I love more high-end robot stuff, but I love low-end stuff too. So it's I get, the full, especially here. Here's a nice, this is the cheapest thing here, even cheaper than this guy. From low-end robots to high-end robots, I like to diversify that as well. I like to dabble in a little bit of everything. So I understand why folks love cheap toys. I understand why folks love expensive toys. And there's a lot to be said about that. And there's a lot to talk about that, and to understand the different trends in toys and what's popular. I am not a hater of any toy. I am not. I will get a little bit of everything so I can better understand how toys are made. So I can better understand how companies work and why companies do different things. There's a reason why I review so much, because I like to have that knowledge. I like to, try to figure out the inner workings of some of these companies and why they do the things they do, and why, let's say, a Bandai Play King will satisfy me, just as good as a possible SH Figure Arts might in the future. Or, this is a really good example because same company, Bandai Collect. Why I decided to get this Chainsaw Man instead of getting the SH Figure Arts or the Good Smile company, Figma. Sometimes it's good to get cheap figures. They satisfy you, and they show you different things, and you could see how companies grow. I've seen Bandai Play, which was formerly Bandai America, grow so much. Since I've been reviewing toys, and even well before that, for a long time, I've gotten Bandai products here from the US. But the major things that I used to get from them were Power Rangers stuff, which I don't have anything currently sitting here, but I do get some Power Ranger stuff as well, and, I used to get even more. And I still will get Power Ranger stuff, don't worry. But I've seen Bandai grow a lot and change a lot over the years, and you guys are gonna, who haven't been watching, follow me on Facebook, will see tomorrow night in the Ultra Z News, more stuff that Bandai Play is doing that I think you're gonna really, really like. So, there's a lot to be said about that. Also, this past week, I got to mess around with the Chainsaw Man SH Figure Arts figure. And I gotta say, I like my figure better. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be a hater of cheaper figures, because sometimes they're a lot more satisfying. I mean, case in point, think about the NECA versus SH Monster Arts wars from years back. Folks swore by the NECAs. Even though, I mean, you could argue that hands down SH Monster Arts were better. But there were some figures that NECA did that were just so solid that you couldn't deny him. And sometimes it doesn't matter how much a figure costs. Sometimes a figure is a good figure. I mean, hey, look at Haya, right? Everybody loves Haya toys and already thinks they're better than SH Monster Arts. And, you can make that case. Both for and against. But it's the same thing. It's a cheaper toy line. It doesn't make it a lesser toy line. I mean, as a Transformers fan, I've had to deal with, folks sticking their nose up and saying that third-party figures are way better. And that, there's some arguments to be made about that. In my experience, and I have quite a few third-party figures, I haven't enjoyed them as much as I enjoy, getting the mainline stuff. Something about the pure toy feel of, the regular Transformers stuff that I really, really like. And, that's part of being able to distinguish and to understand all of these different types of toys. And over the years, how that makes you feel. And I feel like I've grown so much as a reviewer because I understand that, and because I've gotten so many different things and not shied away from getting so many different things. And there's stuff like that I loved as a kid that I'm still I love checking out every once in a while, hey, how about, Snout Spout here? I haven't done a Masters of the Universe figure in forever on this channel. But it was so awesome to do that. And I'll continue to do that. And I won't worry about, what the views are. And I know this is a big, big, big thing with reviewers, right? The viewers are not going to love it, so I'm not going to get it. And I get it. I get how viewership can, drive what folks that review toys get. I've personally seen and talked to many reviewers that won't feature certain toy lines that they're buying on their channels because they won't get the views. And I get it, and I hate it. I hate that, certain viewers won't watch other videos. You should be watching a reviewer, because you enjoy them. But I get it, as collectors, you will want to see something that you're more apt to buy. But how will you know if other things aren't, impressive and aren't getting your curiosity up about something? It's a wide world of toys out there, and I think so many people are just missing out on it. So that's why I'm always saying diversify your collection. It's so important to me as a collector. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me fresh. It keeps me enjoying toys. I had one Zillion message me early this year saying, "Oh, I hope you're not, I hope you're not burning out. Maybe take a break. You're doing so much. You did so many reviews last year." And I appreciated that. I thought that was really, really nice. But this is what I love. And I probably won't burn out because I feature so many different things. And I'm not bored. I'm not bored of any things. One of the best things that's happened to me, and it's unfortunate, is, probably having a little less money for this stuff. I've had to decide, all right, what do I want to feature right now, and what do I want to feature for myself to keep me interested. And I've gotten just enough. I did all of the Playmates stuff, so that was very good. I've done almost all of the Funko stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing any more. There are a couple of Funkos that I didn't do. Not sure if I'm going to be doing it, but, we'll see. So I did do a large chunk of the Godzilla XK releases that have been out this year. And that's awesome. And, you know, I could have put my money to the 2 SH Monster Arts re-releases. But, you know, in the new boxes and slight paint, I just look at all the other stuff that I bought instead. You know, like, that's like $150 that I spent in, I don't know, 10 reviews. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just bananas. So there was a no doubt there. Featured more things over featuring 2 things that, you know, I could have probably gotten more views on, but at the same time, it was just gonna bore me at this point. Like, the new paint jobs didn't do enough for me. Sometimes a paint job will do enough for me, like the Tamashii Nation Store Godzilla, which I got a lot of grief for, but I really like that paint job. I thought it was really cool, so I wanted that one. These, not as much, you know. I have enough Kongs anyway, for now. Well, as far as SH Monster Arts go, give me Beast Glove Kong, give me Godzilla Evolved. We'll talk then. And as far as SH Monster Arts, yeah, like I have at least one that I'm like itching to review, and it's been out already a little while, and that's the Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I've been meaning to buy it. I almost pulled the trigger this past week, but, you know, had to do some bills and stuff, and I ended up getting a few other things, and that's the thing. When it's a release that's a little more pricey, and, you know, you gotta factor in, well, I could get, like, a week's worth of reviews for that same price, or get that right now. So, you know, you have to make choices. And again, not everything is going to make me as happy as other things. So it's good, guys. It's good to diversify. Like, for me personally, it breathes fresh air in here all the time. You know, I get to understand different types of figures, get to understand different kinds of joints and how things work, you know, versus how other things work, low end, high end. And I get to see what a lot of different figure collectors get. Now, I wish more folks checked out different things, gave me opinions. I do wish other collectors of other lines were a little more vocal in the comments, because then I could, you know, gauge how much, like, Transformers are doing here on the channel, because I'll tell you, there's some Transformers review that do very, very well here. But I need that community to be a little more vocal, you know, so I understand it a little more. It's good to have conversations, you know, like, end of the day, the conversations are what helps us decide things as well. It's not just the reviews themselves, it's like talking about these things. So, my point here is, I think for a reviewer, it's really good. It keeps things fresh. It keeps you moving. You get to understand how different toys work. You know, like, that is a big, big help. Especially, I'm going to say this, and this is no offense. Like, especially if our only experience coming into trying to review toys is being a toy collector. You have, like, if you have no other experience other than being a toy collector, my biggest advice is get a lot of different things, review a lot of different things. It's really, I think, very important to understand how toys work, you know, and not just one type of toy. Like, my experiences reviewing Transformers helps my experiences reviewing kaiju toys, you know. My experiences reviewing, like, more standard figures that people like to buy will help me understand, like, vinyl toys. Like, there is correlation to everything. And one thing will definitely help you with the other. And it'll help you understand how different fans think of different things. And why. So, to reviewers, I think it's super important, you know, like, to try different things, to try to review different things. Not just buy different things. And that's cool, but, like, push yourself to try to review different things. because you'll understand so much more if you get in depth with a review for yourself. Forget about how the review will do on the channel. Do it for yourself because it'll help you grow as a reviewer. And as collectors, like, try different things, and you'll probably understand why you like what you think you love collecting more than these other things. I'm not saying, like, go all in on anything. I don't even go all in on anything. I pick and choose. I dabble. I love dabbling, and I think it helps. I think it helps as a collector. I think it helps as a reviewer. And that's why, my friends, I'm always saying diversify your collection. It's super important, and I think it helps me. It does. Whether it helps the channel or not, to me, it's irrelevant. It's secondary. Do I wish all my reviews did well? I absolutely do. But I'm not going to, do that. I'm not going to push myself to just review one toy, because at the end of the day, I probably will burn out, because it is boring. It is honestly absolutely boring. And there you go, guys. That is my Let's Talk for this month. This is actually a subject I've had in my back pocket to talk about for a while. I'm not sure if I did it justice end of the day, because it's been so long that I've wanted to talk about this. But I'm glad I did talk about it, because there is a lot of toys out there that are really, really cool, and I think they deserve your love. And there you go, guys. That's my Let's Talk. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content. And yes, let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.